If it is the former president, it was his drug war, he's now a civilian, why is the government protecting him and others? Why are you defending, protecting people who could be guilty?
Karen, I have already explained this point several times before.
Ito guys, no, pasabog talaga ito. Breaking news talaga. Kasi ang ginawa natin ay binalikan natin yung mga nakaraang interview kay Solicitor General Menardo Guevara para maintindihan natin kung saan nga ba siya humuhugot doon sa mga decision niya lately, no, na hindi niya kumbaga ire-represent yung ating gobyerno na ipagtanggol sa mga kumu-question kaugnay po doon sa pagkakaaresto kay dating Pangulong si Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Kung inyong matatandaan at kung aware kayo sa mga sunod-sunod na mga pangyayari mga kaibigan, ay ipinadakip nga po itong si Rodrigo Roa Duterte, no? At ang tao sa likod ng kanyang pagdakip siyempre ay ang CIDG Director na si Major General Nicolas Torre III, no? At dahil nga sa pagpapadala kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte sa International Criminal Court, no, ay marami yung mga nagbigay ng kanilang mga legal na opinion kaugnay nga po sa pagpapadala o pagpapaaresto kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Dahil dyan ay nagsampa ng petition ang mga anak ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. No, itong mga petition na ito ay kumu-question sa ginawang hakbang ng pamahalaang ito, no, na ipadakip o isurrender nga po itong si former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Noong nakaraang Senate hearing na pinangunahan nga po ni Senator Amy Marcos, nalaman natin, no, doon pa lang po sa preliminary findings na inilabas ni Senator Amy Marcos, marami na po siyang natuklasan mga irregularidad tungkol sa pagpapadakip o pagpapaaresto kay dating Pangulong si Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Maraming mga batas yung nilabag, no, ng administrasyong ito. So dahil dyan ay ipinahayag na po ni Solicitor General Menardo Guevara na hindi niya ire-represent ang gobyernong ito, no, para sagutin po yung mga tanong sa kanya, no, about the arrest of the former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Ito po ang ating natuklasan mga kaibigan, okay? So alam nyo ba na noon pang 2024 ay nilinaw na ni Solicitor General na bukod sa isang katotohanan na hindi na tayo miyembro ng ICC, na ibig sabihin wala na silang authority and jurisdiction over the country, ay mayroon pang mas legal na katotohanan. Kaya lagi niyang sinasabi na hindi ito makikipagtulungan sa ICC. Alam niyo ba kung ano ang matinding dahilang ito ni Solicitor General Menardo Guevara at bakit ayaw na nga niyang i-represent ang gobyerno? Okay? Panuorin ang kanyang naging pahayag at naging sagot sa kanyang interview with Karen Davila, no? Kung ano yung dahilan, bakit, no, bakit hindi makikialam ang gobyernong ito. Hindi dahil sa miyembro tayo o hindi dahil sa hindi na tayo miyembro ng ICC, meron pang isang legal na basihan kung bakit ayaw na niyang hawakan. Okay? So panoorin natin mga kaibigan. Kayo na po yung bahalang sumuri. Ano kaya yung dahilang ito? Ano kaya yung katotohanan sa bagay na ito? Tingnan nga natin mga kaibigan. Tingnan natin yung comprehension ng mga nanonood. O yung makakapakinig dito kung magigets ninyo yung gustong sabihin ni Solicitor General Menardo Guevara.
Judicial and legal system is functioning. And for that reason, there is no basis for an international entity like the ICC to impose upon ourselves their own type of investigation because our own system is working. It may be not to their liking, but that is not a sufficient ground for them to take over the investigation that our own system is already doing. That's our main point. The OSG is protecting the system that we have here in our country, regardless of who may be the individuals who may be charged in the future. We're not looking at that anymore. What we're protecting is our sovereign right to do our own investigation in our own way within the framework of our own legal and judicial system. That's all that we want to project to the ICC. We're not protecting anyone. That's farthest from our mind.
So, ang pinagtatanggol po dito ni Solicitor General ay hindi po si former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Hindi po niya ipinagtatanggol si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte kaugnay doon sa sinasabing kaso niya against the International Criminal Court, which is yung crimes against humanity. So, hindi po ang Pangulo ang ipinagtatanggol dito ni Solicitor General. Yan po ang isa sa dahilan. Ang main reason dito is that nais pong ipakita at pinaninindigan ng Solicitor General na ang Pilipinas bilang isang bansang malaya ay mayroong maayos at gumaganang judicial system. So ibig sabihin, ang ating korte ay maayos naman at ginagampanan yung kanilang tungkulin, ginagawa po yung kanilang trabaho na kung mayroong taong inaakusahan ay idemanda lamang at ito po ay kanilang pag-uusapan. Ito po ay kanilang iimbestigahan. So since gumagana po ang judicial system ng bansa, there is no point para isurrender at para ibigay sa International Criminal Court yung pagdinig sa isang kaso. So yan po yung isang point, no? We are functioning, we have a very functioning judicial system. Okay? Ito pa po yung malupit at pinaka importante, pinakamagandang dahilan kung bakit, no? Kung bakit po hindi makikipag-ugnayan ang Office of the Solicitor General, hindi makikipagtulungan para alam nyo na, para ipagtanggol yung gobyerno sa pagpapaaresto kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Sige nga, tingnan natin kung makukuha ninyo yung pinakang dahilan. Alright?
Imagine the 4 crimes that the ICC can investigate. Genocide, war crimes, war of aggression or crimes of aggression, and crimes against humanity. So, you know, the magnitude of these offenses is so much that probably a local court will not be able to independently and efficiently handle such crimes. No? So, in our case, we are saying that the war on drugs does not even fall under any of those 4 categories. We do not consider the war on drugs as a crime against humanity because it's a legitimate law enforcement operation. It's called war on drugs. It's not a war on drug users or a war on drug pushers. No, it's a war against the crime itself. We're trying to address that situation. In the course of that campaign, however, many people died. But
6,185, I think. That's the PNP numbers.
Yes,
Okay,
apparently.
Yes, go ahead. But then it's believed to be more than 10,000, but go on.
Yes, what I'm saying is that operation called War on Drugs does not fit the concept of a crime against humanity. Okay, so we're disputing that. And that is very well explained in our own submissions to the ICC pretrial chamber. Well, of course, somehow we mentioned it again in the appeals brief of the Philippine government. But that's our main point. So when this whole investigation about the war on drugs turned to be, from the president's point of view, something like there seems to be some political agenda involved in it, and the ICC seems to be somehow cooperating in that, in one sense. The president thought it proper. Mag-withdraw na lang tayo dyan. Let's just withdraw. Okay, because it's not serving its purpose anymore.
But do you believe the ICC has a political agenda?
It's hard to say. Some people would say na it's rather obvious. So that is a possibility. I cannot really, speculate on what's going on in the minds of the justices of the ICC.
Ayun na nga mga kaibigan, nagets nyo ba yung ibig niyang sabihin? Ibig sabihin po ni Solicitor General Menardo Guevara, yung crimes against humanity daw po ay hindi po maaaring gamitin laban kay dating Pangulong si Rodrigo Roa Duterte kaugnay po doon sa kanyang naging programa po na war on drugs. So ibig sabihin, yung war on drugs issues at mga nangyari noong panahon po ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte ay hindi po kasama sa mga elemento ng krimen against humanity. Okay, so in English, the question of whether the war on drugs campaign under the former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte constitutes a crime against humanity has been subjected of legal and international scrutiny, particularly the International Criminal Court and the Human Rights Organization. So, legal basis po, no, for crimes against humanity. If you look at the Rome Statute of the ICC and the Republic Act number 9851, the Philippine Law on Crimes Against Humanity, this is an act that qualifies as a crime against humanity if there is a committed as part of a widespread or systematic attack. Meron nga bang widespread and systematic attack during that program or campaign? Is the attack directed against a civilian population? So yung pag-atake ba o yung pagpatay ba doon sa mga inosente na sinasabi ng mga kalaban po ni Duterte ay directed ba sa mga civilian population? And the third, the perpetrator knows about the attack and its widespread or systematic nature. So, ibig sabihin, yung perpetrator, yung may kagagawan po ba ng krimen na ito, ay alam niya yung nangyayari. So, dito pa lang po sa definition na ito, if you look at the definition of the crimes against humanity na nakasulat po o nakasaad sa Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court at doon sa mga krimen po na nakapaloob sa Republic Act 9851, yung Philippine Law on Crimes Against Humanity. So malinaw na malinaw po, ibig sabihin po niyan, yung mga pangyayari noong panahon na dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte ay hindi po pasok, hindi po fit. No, sabi nga po ni Solicitor General, hindi fit para sa krimen na crimes against humanity because there is no widespread or systematic attack, because the attack was not directed against civilian population. And the third, the perpetrator knows about the attack and it's widespread or systematic in nature. So therefore, yun pa lamang po, no, yun pa lamang po ay isa ng malaking katibayan na hindi po pasok sa crimes against humanity. Alright, so yun lamang po at maraming salamat. Para sa ganitong mga analysis, huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe at ibahagi ang videong ito, mga kaibigan.